Over the last 2 decades, the internet has quickly become part of our daily lives. The World Wide Web, along with the advent of smartphones, has changed the way we live entirely. It is a technological revolution that has given us new tools and has made drastic changes in the way we look for jobs, the way we book travel, the way we buy goods. Moreover, the way we find new property. Such advances have made a tangible, positive difference in most areas of our lives. But when it comes to renting, buying and selling properties, it is still a shadowy business where less information is available out there for the buyer, seller and tenant. Just 15 years ago, we might have relied on ads in the newspaper or gone to local real estate agents. However, now we turn to search engines or agencies, and we spend hours, days and weeks travelling to visit apartments. Alternatively, when that is not possible, we depend on a few photos and brief property description, which shed very little light on the true condition of the property and its surroundings. Moreover, in all the excitement of looking for a new home, we might not know which questions to ask, especially when we are running out of time.
Today the information makes to us a lot of difference. If we're looking as, let's say, 10 years back, everything was much more slowly, things was running totally in another way. Today, we have a job, tomorrow they're firing us. We have 1 month to move with our family to other places. Even inside of the country, to move from one street to the other, it takes a long time to find a place that you said, I can pay it for 1 year, this is the place I want, etc., etc. Not always we have the time and the budget really to look on those things and to know where exactly we want to go.
It is all too easy for owners and agencies that are advertising property to withhold or even hide information behind well-staged photographs, which are manipulated to look beautiful and convincing to the eyes. Worse than that, there are people all over the world making fraudulent property sales, selling the same apartment to multiple tenants with high upfront fees. Their deals may sound exciting, but by the time tenants learn what has happened, the fake agency has disappeared from the map along with the tenant's money. From the owner's point of view, on what basis is he going to do business with the prospective tenant? Firstly, how will you know whether the prospects are financially capable? How can you trust someone you are meeting for the first time? How will you know whether the prospect is reliable and trustworthy? If they have a good reputation, and whether they are ethical in their dealings? There is absolutely no way for owners to get this kind of information about the tenant, and are often left dealing in the dark.
We find that there was a very big space to build here, something that will guide all of these problems that are happening in the market to a totally peaceful. So that is mean that if we build a database on each one of us, that will following to us for life, that will protect even ourselves, because it will give to us to think 10 times before we are doing any move.
These days, we still make deals with apprehension, only to open doors to our new home to find disappointing surroundings, a terrible view, strange odours, noisy or disrespectful neighbours, nearby construction sites, or even criminal activity. By that time, we have already paid a high commission, and it is already too late to get out of the contract without a legal fight. As a result, tenants and new property owners worldwide are suffering because they did not have enough insight in a time when so much information should be at our fingertips. Dubious sellers and agencies can easily continue misrepresenting and renting or selling the property to new tenants or investors without any consequences, while honest owners suffer from an environment of distrust.
When I moved to Barcelona from Sri Lanka in February 2017, finding an apartment, it was so crazy. Things didn't go the way I wanted. It was really very bad. First I looked on the internet, found an apartment, and then when I moved there, it was horrendous. Things were like, not even for my family, it was a huge turmoil for us. Starting with the view, initially on the web they showed us it was a big, it has a lawn and the view was good and everything, but when we went there, there was a construction going on. First of all, I have a 2-year-old kid, and she used to cry almost the whole day because of the sound of the construction, and even the surroundings weren't what they put on the internet. It was a totally different thing. So then when we spoke to the landlord, he never answers the phone. Every time you call, he says he's busy, he's not here, not in the country.
Another point of contention for owners, buyers and tenants who want to plan ahead are that on most real estate platforms, search results only show property that's available in the near future. Those who are planning a move that's more than a few weeks down the road currently have no way of securing property well in advance of their move, adding more stress to the high-pressure process of moving. And owners have to wait until the last minute to ensure their property is filled. What if you could book an apartment from the date you want to move in to the date you want to move out, even if the move-in time is 1 year from now? What if you had this information as an owner? What if you had a property for sale in the countryside with fields and fences surrounded by greenery, and you could find out about an individual residing in Dubai looking for the exact same property located in the exact same location with green surroundings? To add more, what if we know precisely when he would like to move in? What if a buyer or tenant in the USA who's planning to move to Brunei in 6 months already knows the exact date and time the apartment or property is going to be vacant? Wouldn't it be great if he could see this 6 months in advance, which will make life so easy and help him plan way ahead? What if everything that you saw regarding properties were real and not manipulated or photoshopped to create a false illusion? If, as an owner, you could spot a fraudster even before he attempts to persuade you to buy an apartment that has already been sold? What if you could safeguard yourself and spot that rogue tenant who is planning to fool you and run out of the country without paying the rent? Imagine being able to detect crooks and have a track record of how these individuals have cheated, starting from what they did 10 to 15 years ago. If you could find out more about apartments and houses without having to travel long hours or risk trusting the pretty photos, if you could get information, comments, feedback and experiences of previous tenants and know what they have to say about the exact property you're looking at, so you could avoid problems both in the present and future. What if you could avoid all the problems related to buying, selling or renting properties even before they begin, and spend more time with family and friends rather than in the police station and courts? Introducing Koloxo Home, the new social way to buy, sell and rent property. Koloxo Home is a revolutionary app that will be the social network for properties, a network of buyers, sellers and tenants. Koloxo Home will be the platform where buyers can get information about tenants and sellers about buyers. It will be the social media network of choice when it comes to property, reducing the time and effort required and also ensuring the entire process is reliable and trustworthy.
So Koloxo team built in the last 1 year a very sophisticated application and ready to start to go to action.
With the Koloxo Home app, you can view the experiences of previous owners, tenants and sellers of property that you are interested in. This essential feature gives users information that plays a crucial role in decision making when the time comes to buy or rent a property. All remarks and comments are posted in real time. Tenants can no longer run away after damaging or not paying the rent. The owner will be able to comment or review the tenant, thus marking him as a bad tenant. Sellers cannot fool buyers and sell them properties that are photoshopped or manipulated.
Koloxo is coming to, let's say, our present and future life, covering all, and I said all, it's all of those problems. We will report on good and bad on each one of us for the sakes of the people who coming after. It's mean that if I going to rent an apartment and my behaving is good, that behaving will benefit me on the second apartment I'm going to rent in somewhere else. Why? Because they will get a reference that my behaving is excellent. In the opposite way, if my behaving will not be excellent, that will give a red light to other owners to know that if they're going to deal with me, they're going to have problems. So if the owner, his behaving is excellent, he don't need to bring me every afternoon some cake to my place, but if he will complete with what he said, as for example, the air conditioning will work, the neighbors are who they say they are, there is no noise, or whatever you're going to say, it will going to be exactly like that. That owner will going to be upgrading every time more and more on the level of the people who will go there. Why? Because he's going to have 5 yellow stars for all of the way, and it means that that is a guarantee to a good tenant to go there. And even he can increase the price of the rent, because he said, look, I'm a good owner, I have a good apartment, everything is working perfectly, I want 10% more. Look, I don't want problems, I will pay 10% because I know what I'm taking.
The system is so robust that once you enter the name of a tenant or owner, it will have records starting from what they did 10 years ago to the last 4 countries they have been to. Everyone on the network will see this information in real time and will be able to take precautions when dealing with these individuals in the future. Koloxo Home has an extensive database of users, a back-end team for support, and a legal team to take care of legal matters in all parts of the world, starting from the title deed to the rental contract, leaving no room for fraud. Imagine having all the information about a tenant, buyer, or seller's credibility, trustworthiness, and goodwill when you're making your decision. Koloxo Home will help you understand them and help you choose and make the right decision rather than falling prey to frauds and running behind the police, courts, and paying huge fees to lawyers. Koloxo Home eliminates this and helps you lead a stress-free, healthy life and spend more time with family rather than chasing wrongdoers in courts.
But now when I heard about Koloxo and all these comments and reviews that we get from previous tenants, if we had had this earlier, life would have been so easy for me, especially for my family. This huge, rich information that we find, the reviews of previous owners, previous tenants, it's just not a simple review. It comes from their heart. And things would have been very much different for me. We have social media for almost everything. Everyone can connect to each other. But a social media for property, this is the first time. So I am waiting for Koloxo Home to launch so that it'll help a lot of lives in future.
At the end of the day, property is not a mere investment, but years of hard work. If you make the wrong move, everything falls apart, endangering your happiness and your future. Koloxo Home is the tool that will equip you with the right knowledge so you do not make these mistakes again and instead help you make wise decisions. Koloxo Home also has a feature where buyers, sellers and tenants can provide a referral so that any prospects can inquire with them about their credibility and trustworthiness.
Then we are talking about people that took an apartment, but they can't finish the contract. They have some surprise. They need to go back to their hometown and they don't want to break the contract. They just want to replace the contract name. So that is another big point. I just launch this information to the space of Koloxo, and Koloxo will not find, but Koloxo will make sure that somebody will find me. He will looking for somebody that finishing that day, that it's mean tomorrow morning, and he will move in, and everything will be peaceful.
Imagine having the ability to know everything about the address you desire, including when it will be available for rent or sale, and the final date on the current tenant's contract. This information will be in your hands, giving you new opportunities to plan ahead and book your property a year in advance for precisely the day you want to move in, making life easy and stress-free. The Koloxo Home app uncovers an easier, stress-free way to deal in property by providing a global network and an extensive database of information from that network and their interactions. It makes the global user experience of owners, sellers, and tenants from all over the world more transparent, because data will now be available and shared with all users. The global property market will experience a significant breakthrough with improved access to information. Koloxo strives to change the lives of every individual.
Future of Koloxo is already written on the wall. Why? Because we already feel that those points are points that we need them to breathe. So we just wait them to be in the market available, and we're going to use them daily. We're going to use that tool so much that tomorrow, if we don't have it, we couldn't even understand how we can live without that tool. It's so necessary here. We have to know about each other, everything that connects to us. Because if you hide from me something that I need to know to protect myself, you put me in a danger. If my kids need to go to university and I need to use the money that you're going to pay me rent, and you already know that the second month you will not going to pay to me, you're going to put my family in a big problem. And this you need to know, you to tell me. But by nature, we don't say everything. We say part of the things. Or let's say we think that tomorrow it will be better, so we said, no, it will be okay, so we will not say that. Koloxo bring the reality, the true, up of the water. We need to share that information because that will benefit all of us and will protect all of us. So, as we said, Koloxo Home is what going to help us to do that change.
Making the future more convenient, peaceful, and stress-free in every nation. For every home and for every individual, it will become an irreplaceable tool that will change our lives for the better. Koloxo Home. Buy, sell, and rent properties with peace of mind. Once you launch the app, you can immediately begin your search for property without signing in, or add your own listing by clicking Add Property. By clicking Let's Search on the homepage, you'll be able to initiate a search by choosing whether you're looking to buy or rent, and specifying the location of the property, moving dates, and duration of stay. Once a search is initiated, users will be taken to the map of search results. The map lists all available, somewhat available, and unavailable properties in the search area, each highlighted with different coloured pins. Once you choose a property from the map, you will arrive at the details page for the property, where you'll see all of the property's attributes and amenities. If you'd like to get more specific results, quickly filter your search. Simply set your search criteria and click Submit to return to the map screen and see the updated search results. The property listing screen shows you a list view of properties available on Koloxo Home. Just like the map, by selecting a property, you'll be able to view all property details. In addition to property information, you can also initiate contact with the property owner if you're interested in learning more. Simply select Request Contact, and a push notification will be sent to alert the property owner. Once the owner accepts your request, you'll be able to view the owner profile and to initiate a chat session. Once both parties have agreed on the deal, you can proceed further by tapping Confirm Deal. For property owners, adding a listing is easy. Select Add Property from the home screen and choose whether the property is for rent or sale. Then fill in the details about your property. The more information you add, the higher quality responses you'll receive. If you would like to restrict your property to tenants and buyers who already have a tenant reputation profile set up, check Yes under Reputation Profile Required. Your property will still be visible to all users, but anyone who requests information about your property will first be asked to create a profile. You'll also be asked to upload a title deed which will be sent for approval by the Koloxo Home Legal Department. If your deed has not been approved within 3 days of adding the property to Koloxo, it will be approved automatically. You'll also be able to upload floor plans and conveniently select all available facilities in the property from the drop-down lists provided. Give potential buyers and tenants more information by adding up to 5 titles and descriptions for furniture in each room category. Once you've submitted a property and furniture details, a map view will appear, where you can select the country, state and city where the property is located from drop-down menus, and enter the property's exact address. Upon entering this information, the longitude and latitude of the property will be indicated on the map. If the plot you've entered includes multiple buildings, they will be listed for you to choose from. You'll also have the option to add new buildings to the plot. Upload accompanying images, also a maximum of 5 images per category. For upload exterior image, a front-facing image is required. Upon submitting the registration fields, an OTP code will be sent to your email address for security purposes. Enter the OTP code you've received into the app to complete your registration. You can also complete your profile to create your own Reputed profile. The Reputed profile is where you can upload various documents to build trust among the community. Click Add More to upload the document and add the document's name. You do not need to create the Reputed profile immediately when you register. Do it at your own convenience. The side menu can be accessed from most pages in the app, and it serves as the main navigation menu once you're logged in. If you haven't registered yet, the side menu provides navigation options to the home screen, My Searches and the registration page. Access the dashboard in Koloxo to get an overview of your activity on Koloxo. At a glance, see the number of properties posted, the number of requests received, and the number of requests you have made on other properties. Click My Properties to access the full list of properties you've added and edit the property information as needed. From here, you can also see how many people have viewed your property listings. Select My Requests to see the full list of properties you've sent requests for. Under each property, you'll see the status of your requests as pending or accepted. The My History page has 2 main areas. The first is My Rental. You'll see the full list of property you've rented or bought through Koloxo Home. Here you'll also have the opportunity to leave ratings and reviews for each property. Enter your ratings by selecting the number of stars out of 5 to answer various questions. At the end, you can leave a comment about your experience. The second main area of My History is My Property, where you can view all properties you've posted for sale and rent, as well as view all the reviews you've received for each one. View your app notifications from the notification page, where the most recent notifications appear at the top of the list. When you'd like to start a conversation with a tenant, buyer or seller, first navigate to the chat screen. My Property is where property owners will find all chats sorted by each property they've listed on Koloxo. By selecting a property, all related chats will appear and you can select a chat to pick up the conversation. My General is where buyers and tenants can view chats for all of the properties they have previously requested. Just select a chat and start making great property deals.